Hi everyone, and welcome to Club at 22, the Rangers podcast and Club Live. We are live on YouTube tonight, so as usual, get your comments in. We'll try our best to answer the questions as it's just me and Mr. Carney here tonight. The usual kind of homework, if you can like and share. We've just got to 6,500 subscribers, I think, after
Yep.
nearly just 4 years that we've been going. An eventful 4 years, but yeah, it's much appreciated where we've got to. So yes, as I said, it's just me and Mr. Carney tonight. So how are you tonight?
Yes, mate, I'm all good. I'm all good. Bit of a crazy week at work, bit of even a crazy day today, to be completely honest. But yeah, no, I'm good, mate. And yes, what a 4 years it has been, mate. We have seen some highs, we have seen some lows. We've went through a fair few podders as well, mate. And me and you are still standing, though. We are still here. So no, it's been a fantastic 4 years, mate. To be fair, we are in a very privileged position. We say it all the time in terms of the platform that we have to be able to come on here and have our very public therapy sessions at times, as well as celebrating the good times. But yeah, we wouldn't be able to do it with all these amazing people that join us on a Friday, or the people that subscribe, all of our channel members, etc. Every single one of these people have been at our live shows, whatever else, whatever things that we are running through the podcast, we wouldn't be here without them. So thank you everybody for it. And yeah, let's see where we are in another 4 years, mate, because who knows where we'll be.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're still here after watching Rangers this season, to be honest. I know we're going to come on to something much more positive. Have you got?
I did promise a positive podcast tonight, mate. So I think we're going to need to try and be positive.
I would say I would say probably 70% of it's going to be positive. We'll go through some bits of the AGM which have come out, and obviously we'll have a wee discussion on that. There's a few negative things, if you want to say, that have come out of that, so we'll discuss that.
There's a name of the night. Agamani Tash, my father-in-law.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I like it though. I like it.
Yeah.
Are you doing
It's
your
thoughtful.
Christmas?
It's a lot of thoughtful. Very thoughtful.
It
Yes,
is.
sorry, yes. Remember, you're doing a podcast, Scott. Yes. Yes, we'll do another winner for our Merry Members Christmas giveaway. Neil French, I've still not had an email from you, so please get in touch with me. You were our first
Maybe
winner.
does he want that home top, can't he?
Maybe it doesn't. I don't particularly. I don't want it. I don't like it. But yeah, please get in touch. You are the winner of the home top, and this winner will be for the legacy top, the 150 year, the 125 year top, even the Ibrox, for the celebration of Ibrox reaching the 125th birthday. So it will be for that. So Alistair, it is over to you. Pick a number between 1 and 90, but don't pick. Sorry, there's more. There's more. Hold the bus. 1 and 92. Yeah, 1 and 92, but don't pick 56 because they've already won something.
Don't pick 56. I will go with 25.
25 is Ewan Minton. Ewan, congratulations. You are the winner of the Ibrox Heritage Top, the 125 years top. Again, the podcast emails in the description for this podcast. Please get in touch with me and we'll sort out the details there. So congratulations to you. Still 3 gifts to go, everybody. So if you've not signed up for a membership, there is still time to enter. Make sure you get signed up. You've been a chance of winning one of the remaining 3 prizes. But yes, Ewan Minton, get in touch. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a nice talk, that, Ewan. So definitely get in touch for that one.
That is nice.
Yes, that is nice. But yes, let's get into all things Rangers. Obviously, as people know in the podcast and the guys in the comments and stuff, has been very, very negative in this podcast, which some people probably quite enjoy. Some people absolutely slaughter us, Carney, in the comments for being negative. But I like to think we'll say what we see. Your eyes don't lie. Rangers have not been good this season. Wednesday night appeared, Carney. We were playing Kilmarnock. As usual, the weather was really nice before that. The Monday, Tuesday, I think, was really nice that week. The Wednesday came, it absolutely pished with the rain. I looked outside and thought, what am I doing? Text you, met you at Ibrox. We looked at each other in the concourse before going there. It was probably about 35,000, probably. We all looked at each other and went, what are we doing here? As we were drenched. Yeah, what was obviously before I get in the game, Carney? Well, I know because I talked to you, but I assume you thought you were going along there to see yet another drab display by Rangers in the cold and miserable rain that was walking to Ibrox.
I did. I mentioned it on the post match. I done remember after I left Ibrox that I was getting ready, getting changed, putting the going to Ibrox gear on, and I could hear the rain, and I was like standing. Even the missus went, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm literally contemplating what I'm doing with myself right now." She's like, "What?" I was like, "The thought of this, like the thought of going." Because yes, mate, I thought I was going to watch an absolute slog. And look, that may sound negative to some, but give me some proof that it's not being anything else otherwise. Until after, obviously, pre the 90 minutes that we did witness. But there's nothing to really to go on. So though I wasn't particularly looking forward to it, mate. Dixie messaged and said he wasn't going because it's a wee bit rainy outside, and I thought, right, okay. And our man Scotia as well, again, a wee bit too rainy for our Scott to paddle his way up from the borough, mate, to get himself to Ibrox. So no, look, no, I'm not going to lie, mate. I thought we would see a slog. I thought McInnes would have parked 10 men behind the ball, and I thought we would have seen the same thing we've been seeing all season, mate, and it struggled to break the team down. Me and you were not very happy chappies, mate, just before kick-off standing on that concourse. We were kind of both looking at each other going, yeah, all right, mate, yeah, all right. We're here because it's just what we do.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of other folk were as well. I mean, you could tell by the crowd. I know it's a Wednesday night. It's December. It's Kilmarnock. As we said, the weather was not great. I think that's why the turnout was what it was. Obviously, how we've been playing in domestically. So you can see why folk didn't turn up. But, and here's the positive, the folk that didn't turn up missed probably the best performance. And it's not hard, to be honest, but the best performance I've seen of Rangers this season. Obviously, we beat Ross County 6-0 at Hampden, but this for me was a complete performance. I don't want to break the game down, Carney, because you done that in your post match in terms of what happened in the game, but it's bizarre. Oh, not bizarre, but to watch Rangers in that, because we've seen Rangers this season slow, ponderous, but I just thought majority of the game, bar that wee lull you said in the first half, between probably 15 to 30 minutes where there was a bit of a lull, I thought Rangers were exceptional. I thought the way they moved the ball about, I thought the movement, I thought the interplay in between players, we looked like we knew each other as a team. We looked coached as well. It was it was a shock to us, and obviously you came down in the second half and watched the game with me beside me because there was nobody in my row at all. And we were watching the second half in particular, kind of looking at each other going, this is how it should be. This is how it should be going to Ibrox to watch Rangers.
You gave each other a cuddle and everything, mate. Like, honestly, it's been a long time since we've done that to each other, mate, when Rangers have scored the goal. Yeah, and I've seen Curry just saying there, like, evening lads, great turn in football. Seen too many pod chats say that the severe amnesia with what they've watched this season is mental, the acceptance. I'm under no illusions, by the way, that I'm not saying everything is all fixed and we're all good. We are we are still behind Aberdeen, and we're still a country mile behind the other side of the city right now. So look, however, what I said on the pod, still stands true to me just now, that I needed to enjoy that. I kind of I didn't let myself. I felt so positive, and the atmosphere, even in the stadium, and even leaving the stadium, everything just felt so much better, because it's something we've been waiting to see for so long. It really is waiting to see for so long. Question back to you, Ali: is that the best performance you've seen under Clement? Period.
Oh God,
I think it's up there.
Yeah. I mean, he did have a few decent ones last season, to be fair, when we run that run.
Yeah.
But as an overall, yeah, and I thought I thought every goal was outstanding. I thought the play was brilliant. It kind of brings us on to, he changed it a bit in terms of he played. You look at, I picked out for the front four players, if you want to say, Yanis Hadji, who I don't think he's the answer going forward, but it just shows you with a natural number 10 that's playing in that position, and Yanis Hadji, who can interchange as well. He can play left, can play right. You had Igaman up there with Danilo. And Cherny. It was the first time, Carney, I looked at Rangers and thought, we look dangerous. And teams like Kilmarnock that come in and just sit in, and that was their game plan, because we thought Rangers aren't going to break us down. But Rangers went through them with ease, to be honest, with these players. And it was the movement between the 4 players for me, along with Raskin sitting just in behind, that I thought that was the key for Rangers. And for me, moving forward, for me, that is the core of the team in terms of Hadji as the 10 at the moment, and those 3 guys up front. I think you need to keep going with that.
I would agree. Starting off with Yanis Hadji, I agree that I'm not. I don't want to say that he isn't the answer, because you might turn out to be. I still think there's issues with his game. I don't think he's the guy that will take us to. I don't think he's a difference maker for us to win a league title, put it that way. But right now, we need as much contribution in the attacking line as we possibly can. And Hadji's influence in the last 2 games cannot be denied. You have to give the guy credit for it. He's proved me wrong, so I thought he would come back and flop a little bit. I genuinely did. But the 2 performances he's put in back to back now, for Johnston and for Kilmarnock, you're kind of going, we're getting something. We're getting a tune. And you're right, mate. It's playing a player where he's meant to play. I mean, who would have thought it? Who would have thought it would have been as simple as that? But just playing him in the 10. Yanis Hadji's got an intelligent football brain. It's the rest of them that I don't think quite all match up and marry together, because I still think there's a bit of issue with him. However, he's finding the wee pockets. He's finding the areas of uncertainty for defenders and midfielders. Who comes, who goes, who takes him up, who picks him up. He never hides. And I said about the 3rd podcast in a row I've said that about Yanis Hadji, but it's genuinely true. If he's having a stinker and he knows he's having a stinker, he'll still try and take the ball, which I always admire in a football player. He's always going to try and make something happen. But I think, genuinely, one of the biggest difference makers was, after watching the game back, was Raskin. And it kind of goes against your way of thinking, I suppose. Look, Kilmarnock I think they had 1 shot on goal. I don't think there was any on target. I don't think there wasn't no shots on target at all that entire game. I'm sure that's the start that I seen. But anyway, Raskin and that 6 on his own, and it's taking nothing away from Barron, honestly it isn't, but him on his own, he seemed much more commanding. He seemed like he could spread himself a little bit more, as if he knew that he had to cover that entire area, and he very much just made it his own. I mean, how many times, even when Kilmarnock were trying to get back, Raskin was the one making the challenge. We'll maybe lose a ball, Raskin would win the ball back, and that's what you're looking for in your 6. Raskin is the one, for me, that's coming on leaps and bounds, obviously aided by the special band-aid that you get, because as soon as you get a band-aid on your head, you immediately play better. Everybody knows that. That's just fact. It's just one of those things in football. But Raskin, for me, he's really grown, and we're beginning to see what we thought we were going to get from him. It's took him a bit of time, obviously, with his injuries and that he's had, but now that he's back and what you're seeing from him, he's very impressive. My only concern just now, I agree with the front 3 as well, by the way, before we're going any further. I completely agree that should be the front 3. I think Barami and Hadji should now be the 2 competing for the 10. I think Igaman, Danilo and Cherny interchanging on the front, and the front 3 is the way forward, hopefully with backup on the left for the likes of Matondo and Cortez to come back up to whoever's playing on that left, be it Igaman, be it whoever. So I do think that's what we need to do. It's the 8th role now, because it's the Diomande role really for me. Diomande was the only one, and again after watching the game back, where I thought, I don't really know what you're offering just now. He gets lost in games. He very much gets lost in games. There was a few times we were trying to break forward and he's just jogging, like he's not even trying to make himself available for a pass. And there you go. There's the negative creeping back in. It can't help it. It's been a season of negativity, so it's creeping back into me. But look, overall, mate, with the front 3, I couldn't agree more. Did you not think, though, that it was like a clear difference in the constant interchanging of positions, the constant movement? That's got to have been an instruction for me from the gaffer. He's obviously, the manager has obviously said to them, free yourself up, do what you want, run amongst yourselves, control wherever you need to be. But Igaman, I think, is pivotal to that. I mentioned on the post match as well, I think he's having an influence on the left, through the middle, on the right, wherever he finds himself. I'm impressed by him. He's strong as well. He's bulky. He's got a Morelos backside, mate, that he can hold players up, and back into players. So from what we've seen on Wednesday, whatever he tinkered with, whatever he'd done, Clermont needs to continue with that, and he has to try and keep pushing that forward and harness it and make sure that the performance levels get as close to that standard as they can for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I think he said in his post-match, Clermont, and it's a fair comment, to be fair, he's not had the chance to use two strikers this season and have one on the bench because Danilo's been injured usually. Igaman is just adjusting to life in Glasgow. I don't know if you've seen, there's a kind of small documentary on Rangers TV, you'll get it on TikTok and Twitter, about the guy that actually works as a chef he's Moroccan, but he's a chef in a restaurant in Glasgow, but he's actually played football as a career, and he's got his coaching badges and stuff, and he's a guy that's looking after Igaman basically as he's here. So that's actually quite an interesting thing to watch. If anyone's not seen it, you'll go to TikTok or Twitter. Like I say, you'll see it on there if you don't have Rangers TV. But that was quite interesting. But he said Clermont, in terms of that, he's not had the players to play how he wanted to play, as in against Kilmarnock there with 8 players, and you start to see finally what he's trying to do, hopefully, with these players. And I thought the interchanging between the 4, Hadji as well, I don't think Kilmarnock knew what to do, to be honest. And a guy like Igaman, for me, he has to play. I know Celtics are still a week and Sunday away. It's still away, but we need to be looking at that game coming up in terms of what the team's going to be. Igaman, for me, I think you play him because, yeah, he's raw. He's got big chunky legs. He's got that big arse like Morelos, Carney, but he's slightly unpredictable at times. I don't know how you defend against him. He moves quite a lot. Danilo's moving about off him too. For me, he starts against Celtic, but I just hope he sticks with that kind of front 4. Either it's Hadji or Barami, whatever it is. But I just thought it was a breath of fresh air, that top line, in terms of how they were playing, because they were giving teams before, when they play Rangers and it was Dessers up front, they knew how to play us. It was so easy to play us. Now Kilmarnock were looking, going, Christ, these guys are moving over the joint here. How do we handle them? It's completely different.
You've literally took a point right out of my mouth of what I was going to say. We became so predictable. Now Igaman's an unknown. He's an unknown to everybody. It was the same thing, and I'm not making comparisons, but you kind of have to with Morelos. Because when Morelos came, nobody had heard of him. Nobody knew anything about the guy. Do you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, he just started rampaging defenders and kind of running through them, just going, no, it's my ball and I'm going to get it. There's nothing you can do about it. Obviously, Morelos seemed to have more aggression problems, I'll say, than what Igaman has shown anyway, as of recent. But I think that's key, mate. Is the predictability and the lack of movement from Dessers is something that just makes the front line stagnate. And Dessers will become rightly in for criticism because he hasn't been very good. But you can just see the difference that it makes. That Igaman is quite comfortable to run channels. He's comfortable to find himself that space, to make himself the run, to try and get in behind. Tierney and whoever else is playing along the front will welcome that. And Danilo's got a big part to play in it as well. He's far more mobile, far more clever with his movement than what Dessers is. So yeah, I think you're spot on there, mate. Is like we became predictable with Dessers up front. Now we are something to think about. Plus, you've got to remember, when teams are coming up against Rangers, and people will say delusions of grandeur and whatever, we're everybody's cup final. Literally everybody's cup final. Everybody wants to beat us. Everybody does. So they study the life out. As every manager will study the life out. As now, with the change, even I bet you, even when McInnes seen the starting lineup, he looked at that and went, "Oh, I don't know what they're going to do here." Brilliant. That's what you want. Do you know what I mean? Especially in the kind of the form that we've been finding ourselves, the unpredictable kind of lineup that we put out, I think spooked McInnes. I think it spooked Kilmarnock, and it worked an absolute treat. It really did. So yeah, I agree. The predictability seems to be, well, after Wednesday, the predictability wasn't there, and I think we took full advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely. Even players like Danilo, who he's yet to convince me. Danilo, I'll still be honest about that. He did miss a couple of setters, but he was there to put one in the back of the net. I watched Danilo. His movement's much better than Dessers. He's much better to play. He can play off an man. Czerny's now scored. I think he scored 9 goals for Rangers, Czerny, so far, which is a really good return. He's starting to become a real big player for us, and he scores most games now for us, Czerny. He's turned into a good player for us up there. So yeah, I thought it was bright overall on Wednesday night. Like I say, I honestly thought I was going to watch what we've watched all season with Rangers domestically, and it was it was quite pleasing to see a completely different Rangers, because, as I say, we've got this cup final coming up a week on Sunday, and as a support, I think we need a bit of belief going into it, because every Rangers fan, let's be honest about it, going into that game, fully expected us to get beat, and probably still do right now at the moment, to be honest. But that game, I thought, breathed a bit of life into us as a support. But the thing about it is, kind of, they need to kick on, Rangers. It can't be another flash in the pan like what they did to Ross County at Hampden, and then they went back to the same old. They can't. They play Ross County actually on Sunday away, but that for me is the marker of where we should be. I don't expect Rangers to go out and batter teams 6-0 every week. You can't do that in football. Rangers should be doing that occasionally at Ibrox to teams. They should be doing it.
Importantly, mate, we should know as fans that we've got that in us as a team.
Aye.
We should know that at some point somebody's going to take a down from us. We've been playing really good football, maybe beating teams 2-3-0, but you're seeing the performance, you're seeing it happen. We said it so many times as well. We said that under Gerrard, that somebody's going to take a hiding from us soon when we start to play really good football. And yeah, I think as fans, it's important to know that we've got that in us. At some point, we could click into gear and really run over the top of a team. That's what you're wanting. Do you know what I mean? That is exactly what you're wanting. And I just want to pull up a point here that David Todd has made. Dessers has scored 13 on top of the SPFL. I understand that. I get that Dessers come on and scored 2 very, very good goals. I can't take anything away from the guy, but that for me is the perfect example of the you don't start Cyril Dessers. He will come on when teams are beginning to waver a little bit, get a little bit tired, and he'll find that space in the box. But when teams are nothing each and we're trying to break them down and we don't have any movement from Dessers, I don't think he's the answer. I still think Dessers will score a goal for us, and I think he's still going to play a part for the rest of this season, whether some like it or some don't. I think he's still going to play his part. But I think going forward, until the game's ours, until we're 2-3 up, Dessers will be forever an impact sub, I think, in my personal opinion, with Danilo hopefully staying fit and Agaman hopefully staying fit as well. I think they two look like they're ahead of Dessers. Sorry, completely lost my train of thought there. Completely lost my train of thought there. Shows you the day I've had. But yeah, but no, look, as I say, but it's just good to know. Now we know that, because you're right about what you mentioned earlier against Ross County as well. This performance for me is far better than the performance against Ross County. I thought Rangers were good against Ross County to score 6 goals. I thought Rangers were excellent on Wednesday night, genuinely excellent with the movement, and every single goal was an absolute beautifully worked goal. So yeah, it's just nice to know that we might hopefully, please, be seeing something like that again in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. It was a positive night, and like I say, they need to take that into Sunday. I don't expect Rangers to go up to Dingwall and do that to Ross County. I mean, they could, but you're just looking for a better performance away from home, because our performances away from home have been dreadful this season. Against St Johnstone, I unfortunately missed it, or maybe fortunately missed it. But some people said it was slightly better against St Johnstone, but we need to see more goals away from home, because our record away from home was at 3 goals or something we've scored all season, which is shocking for a Rangers team. So hopefully Sunday we can build on. And obviously after that we've got Tottenham coming, who get beat off of Bournemouth last night, I think, and their fans weren't happy with Big Ange again. They're a mad
they get beat
Tottenham
us,
fans.
right?
I mean, they beat Man City only the other week ago, and now they're a weird mob. Tottenham fans. I don't quite know what they expect.
Mate, see after Wednesday night, we'll take Man City on, mate. I'm telling you, we'll beat them.
Yeah,
I was out of work on Thursday, and the guy I was out with supports the other side of the city. Put it that way. They get in the van, and just about 5 minutes passes, and we start talking about football. And I just turned out and I said, "Well, I don't know why you're being so cocky." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Do you not see the result last night?" I was like, "Rangers are going to win the league this year." And he's just like, "Do you believe that?" And I had him going for about. Must have been a good half hour, mate, where I was like, irrelevant, mate. We won 6-0 against Kilmarnock. We're going to win. So, yeah. It's all fun and games, mate. It's all fun and games.
Chris Boyd said it in Sky Sports, I think. Something about, he said, Rangers are back now. As I wind up to them. But obviously, I mean, you look at the league at the moment, and I mean, the league's it's done for me. It was done months ago for me. Aberdeen have now dropped in 4 games in a trot, I think now. Yeah. And we are now 4 points behind with a game in hand. So you'd like to think we could catch Aberdeen now and overtake them. I always knew Aberdeen would follow me. Celtic knew they would follow me. I think Celtic, when they gave them that series doing, which I think it was that 6-0, I think they gave them a doing.
And the cup, was it not?
And the cup was basically them saying to Aberdeen,
they literally get Golly.
Yeah. So we'll need to see what happens. As I say, we've got Ross County this Sunday. The Tottenham game next Thursday night for me just takes care of itself, and then we've got the final on Sunday, which Christ, we'll get there. We'll get there and we'll discuss it at that point. But before we get on to the Manscaped promo, I just thought the Scottish Cup draw was made the other night, Carney. We have been drawn at home. Obviously, the balls were warm against Fraserburgh, which is now going to be televised. Which there must be better games than Rangers Fraserburgh to televise, to be honest, on Premier or whatever.
It all depends what happens. Rangers going forward. Fraserburgh could give us a game, mate. You never know.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Sunday of that. I think it's the 19th and 20th, whatever it is, of January. We're the Sunday, 2:15 kickoff on a Sunday. So not a great kickoff time on a Sunday. It's against Fraserburgh. I expect Ibrox to be very quiet for that game. I expect there to be huge rotations in the Rangers team for that game. Yeah. I mean, you'll never know, but then we might have some new players in the team, but then because it's January. But
is it 18th, 19th of January? Is that right?
Yeah, it's in January. Aye, so
19th of January.
Yeah. The Sunday, 2:15 or something. So, aye, what's your thoughts, Carney, on the mighty
Sign me up.
The mighty Fraserburgh coming to Ibrox?
Sign me up, mate. Like, it's great for them, mate. Like, in the nicest possible way. Don't want to sound big headed. It's great for them. Get a big tie, get a trip to Ibrox. So, no, it's a great tie for them. But no, I'd be the same, mate. I'll expect you and I to be there because we will be. And unless you're in, I don't know, wherever you're going, you got away on holiday or something on the 18th of January. No, you're actually here.
No.
So no, we'll go. Of course, we'll go, mate. But yeah, it's a tie that should really take care of itself. I would expect quite serious rotation in that as well. But I hope that Clement stays true to what we've been hearing about him. The fact that he's letting a lot of the youth start training with the first team and he's getting them involved around the first team a lot more often. I would really like to see the likes of Fraser, Rice, even King, Devine, all these players to come on. McKinnon. Who else was close? Who else has been close? Who's the boy that's scoring for us now in the B team? Somebody will tell me. What's his name? Somebody come in the comments, but him as well, because I know he's scoring for fun now. So yeah, it'd be good to see players like that, mate. It would be good to see if we can get them a run out. But yeah, it's Curtis. There we go. I knew somebody would give me. Just to give him a bit run out. But yeah, a game that should thoroughly take care of itself, mate. Really.
Yeah, I mean, in his presser today, Clement was banging on about the youth in terms of Scottish football and how youth don't get a chance and how you need to give youth a chance. So that's probably a perfect game to give youth a chance. So yeah, we will see. We'll see what happens there. But yes, we have now hit the half-hour mark of the podcast, and it is time for the Manscaped promo.
Are you reading it? Or am I playing the video?
Well, you didn't give me the script, so I can't read it.
Right, okay.
Unless I made it up.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. Introducing Manscaped's newest innovation, the Chairman Pro, the game-changing tool that brings the luxury of a professional shave right into your home. Whether you're after that daily silky smooth finish or prefer to maintain a rugged 5 o'clock shadow, their Chairman Pro electric foil shaver is your go-to for precision and style every time. Head over to manscaped.com and join over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using the code CLUBAT22 for 20% off and free shipping. You have the skin-safe full blade foil for that close, smooth shave when you're looking to go completely clean. And if a clean shave isn't your style, just switch to the skin-safe stubble trimmer to keep your stubble looking sharp and polished. The Chairman Pro comes with unique Flex Adjust technology, helping you maintain great contact with your skin at every angle. And here's something that's going to make your grooming routine even easier. The Chairman Pro is waterproof. The Chairman Pro is so powerful it can tackle up to a 5-day growth, making it perfect whether you're shaving every day or just tidying up after a few days. Get the Chairman Pro today and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUBAT22 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code CLUBAT22 at manscaped.com.
There we go. Thanks very much.
I should have let you make it up though. I should have, because that would have been good.
I'd imagine the Christmas ones get all sorts of.
They've not actually sent. They've not sent a Christmas one yet. I would imagine there's one coming, yeah, but they've not sent a Christmas one yet. Black Friday's just passed though, so there's all of that for the Black Friday stuff that they'd sent through. But they've not the Christmas one yet. I'd imagine Santa will be involved. There'll be jingle bells involved. I would imagine it's along the lines of something like that. Yeah.
Shave your baubles.
Shave your baubles, yes. Thank you to Manscaped for their continued support of this podcast, genuinely. That is Christmas coming up, everybody. Use our code. You'll be supporting our podcast. You'll make somebody very happy with the quality of the stuff that you get from Manscaped. Everything that we've got from Manscaped, genuinely, and I use Manscaped myself for especially their shower gel and their body wash stuff. It is absolutely class. I use that, so yes, it's very good stuff, very, very good stuff. So yes, thank you, Manscaped.
It's very good. The Chairman Pro is very good. I do take that with me. That is an upgrade on the Handyman. The Handyman. It is very good, and the boxers are good too. I know Scotia wears the boxers every single day, and they've still stood up the test of time. So
we're back. The big cousin.
I thought that was your cousin there. Well, you can tune back off, David, because I'm not doing it. So.
Yeah. Hi, Dave.
Yeah, I thought that was your cousin there when I seen that. I thought there's not another David Bradford, is there?
No, there's only one. Only one.
But moving on, there was the AGM that was this week, Carney, which we all thought was going to be a bit tasty. If the Kilmarnock game had went the other way, I think it might have been even more tastier. But yeah, the AGM was there. There wasn't any. I followed it kind of through the day. Colin from Heart and Hand actually did a kind of good breakdown of the event in terms of questions and what the board were saying and stuff. There wasn't any ridiculous questions about God knows what, about my year's points or
polar bears.
Yeah, polar bears or COVID or whatever. So, yeah, there were actually generally decent questions, to be fair. A few things that popped out of it that's obviously been ran by the press and asked in today's presser was, well, the big one was basically, I'll start on the salary costs. Last season, 23-24, Rangers' wage bill was 41 million, and there was a list of players underneath that. And the average age at that point was 29.7. They've now reduced it by 6 million to 35 million. And the age has come down to 35.5 million. Clement's been...
The age has come down to 35.5 million. Is that what
you
just said?
Salary. The salary is 35 million and the average age is 23.5.
You said
it's not 35. No.
Million.
God. That'd be a mad team, that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, 23.5, and it's what Clermont's been kind of banging on about for quite a while in terms of this season, in terms of the rebuild, in terms of the board, in terms of where we are as a football club, that we cannot operate with wage bills like that. We need to reduce it, which leads on to another question a guy asked in terms of, he asked in the books, it said that we only brought in £800,000 in terms of player transfers on Connor Goldson, Cantwell, Lammers, Scott Wright, and I think it was McCrory was the other one, um, which is not very good when you look at those players and the player trading model of where we want to be as a football club. £800,000 is abysmal, but I'll be interested to get your point in this, Carney. I think Rangers were just desperate to get these guys off the wage bill, and how they got them off the wage bill, I don't think they cared. I'd assume there will be add-ons potentially further down the line in terms of maybe if they play a certain number of games, might get more money. But I think the main thing that Rangers had to do was shave that wage bill down, and those guys had to go. Ideally, you want to bring in decent money for them. Todd Cantwell, for me, he's worth decent money. Lammers as well, it was tearing it up in Holland as well. She's been demanding some decent money too. So it's disappointing we didn't get any money in for these players, but I think the board addressed it in terms of going forward. This is why we're bringing in a different profile of player, a younger player, a player that we can maybe develop. They refer to Igaman as a guy that we've never heard of as fans before, but that's what we should be going for, bringing these guys through and hopefully punt them for money. I don't know what your thoughts were on that specific kind of question that guy asked in terms of the wages.
It's extremely disappointing, mate, that it is only £800,000 that was brought in. I think that's pretty poor business. I'm not going to lie. When I seen it, and I'd obviously read up on it as well, mate, I was doing exactly the same. I was following Colin, so credit to him for the information he was putting out. It's very disappointing. It's concerning, mate, is what it is about how poor the business is there, because you're right. There was definitely people worth money there, more than we certainly got anyway. But I agree with the sentiment as well, though, that I think the overlying priority of all of it was reducing that wage bill and offloading the people that were reaching their end of their Rangers career. Goldson was one that I think we all thought he should have went earlier. We all were talking about Tavernier going as well. Again, I'm still probably say now, even though he was better on Wednesday, I still say he probably should have went at the same time, because he will be on a significant wage. Again, you go back to the age-old question about the should he be captain, what does he bring as captain, etc. You don't see what happens in the training pitch, you don't see behind the scenes, so you don't know what kind of captain he is really. But he's not the type of captain we would usually expect on the pitch. But again, probably a conversation for a different podcast. The likes of Cantwell, mate, I think it was clash of personalities with him and the manager. I don't think it looked like they were ever going to get on. So for everybody involved, it was let's get him out the door and get his wage off him, because he'd have been brought in on quite a tasty wage as well. So yeah, look, the priority is good. I'll credit the fact that they have managed to get the wage bill down as much as they have. However, the business that we've done in terms to do that, to achieve that deduction in wage is a bit of a concern. It really is. And I quite like John Gilligan's comment of you would, if you wanted to question what we had done with X money, you'd be quite right to do so. And I thought that's a right dig at the people that have gone before. And we can only hope going forward, mate, that the approach now has to be, we've heard it for too many years now, that the player trading money was vital for us to become a sustainable club, a profitable club. It's vital for us. We have to start doing it. It's okay just continuing to say something. You're going to actually need to go and do it. So I think we've now reached the point where we can see who are we recruiting and how we are recruiting. We just have to hope that these players are the right fit for us, they offer something to us, and they do go on for a profit. That's and it's it's a model that won't always work. There's going to be people that come in, Lammers, maybe not Lammers as an example, but there might be one or two that come in that don't exactly hit the peaks that we expect them to hit. They don't hit the heights that we expect them to do, but the majority of them should be well scouted, should be well planned, should be well organised, and every sale, every purchase of a player moving forwards needs to be heavily scrutinised about why you're doing it and why you're signing them. We shouldn't just be leaving it up to Ross Wilson, Michael Beale just to sign whoever the hell that they want. We have to be more thorough with our transfer activity and promote the within as much as we can. I think it's now becoming clear that there's a quite a heavy sway, not a sway, but a more conscious approach by mentioning the youth constantly. That happened at the AGM. It happened with Clermont today and the pressure. So I think that's something that the Rangers are going to need to look for, and quite rightly so. We invest a lot of money into that academy, and we get very little out of it. So we have to get more from it. We really do have to get more from it. I know there's reasons why we can't get the team playing more football than what they should be in order to develop them, but that's something that the club are going to need to, and the new CEO is going to need to work on pretty hard to get that some form of B team, Colts team, whatever, if you like, whatever you want to call it, into some form of kind of professional football. But yeah, look, the money brought in, not good. The wage bill going down, good, yes, but it's now time that we don't just pick and choose the bits of the trading model that we're going to do. We have to do all of it.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. As you say today, they were on about youth as well in terms of bringing youth through with the team and stuff. I think they're kind of setting us up as a fan group to basically say we need to be patient over the next couple of years, I think, which obviously we don't have as a fan group, patience. But I think that's what they're doing in terms of they don't have the money at the moment, Rangers, to go and splash at the moment in terms of unless they can get outside investment in possibly, but they don't have it, so they need to go down this route at the moment, which means it's probably going to take time before we can even compete with Celtic, to be honest. So that's the harsh reality of where we're at. Positives is they brought out in terms of revenue. Edmonton House has obviously been a kind of topic over the last year or so since it's been there. It's brought in 2 million of revenue and 500,000 profit, which I thought was good. Hopefully they can sort their pints out in Edmonton House, because we don't go in there because the pints are absolutely dreadful.
So bad. I think it's paper. It's the paper cups, mate. I know, like, stop. Just how hard is it just to get a plastic tumbler? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I always, we're going off in one here. You go to Germany, mate, and we've said this a million times. You go to Germany, they give you a cup. You've got your cup, do you know what I mean? And then when you take it back to the bar, they give you money off your next pint. I mean, it's like it's the perfect thing to do. It really is. You very rarely see like a lot of mess. Everybody kind of puts all their cups back where they need to be. They can have big collection points at the end as you're leaving, put your cup back in. I don't know why that's not done. I honestly have no idea why that's not done, because the paper cups are dreadful.
No, yes, they're absolutely dreadful.
That would have been a stupid question at the AGM that I would have liked to have heard. Like, I'd like to have heard that. When are you going to get rid of paper cups? Because they're shocking.
It would have been, somebody could have said, if you sort out the drink at Edison House, you would double your 500.
You would, because we would use it 100%. We would.
Yeah, we genuinely don't use it because the pint is absolutely awful.
Yeah, the pint's rotten.
Yeah. So yes, maybe Rangers will listen here, Karen, and they'll...
Well, they brought in the 2-pinter thing, but as we witnessed when we jumped in for a quick pint before, with you, I, and Jamie from this parish, he struggled with that 2-pinter for a quick pint anyway. Yeah, and making a 2-pinter the same that you have one. But that's when you're over 30, that's many trips to the toilet during the game, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's not ideal before.
No,
going to the game, no, not at all. But a guy did actually ask about, obviously, the Copeland Road fiasco we've had this season in terms of they're going to do with the Broom loan, because that was the next plan they were going to do. So I think they've kind of put that in the back burner at the moment, in terms of they wouldn't do that unless they had guarantees that could be done in a time frame, and you won't get guarantees on that at all. That's Blue Nose John.
Blue Nose John. That is Blue Nose John. Yeah.
And they also said about bar or G51, whatever it's called, that bar that was supposed to be open. It was supposed to be open now, but again, that's been put in the back burner because of what happened with the Copeland. So we'll need to see what happens with that. Somebody asked about moving to Hampden. How much was that? How much did that cost Rangers going to Hampden? He says that'll be out in the next annual accounts, but he did say it would be 6 figures, which could be anything.
Quite broad, though. Quite broad. 6 figures means what?
Yeah.
About $1 million? Near enough $1 million?
So is it what? Is it 100,000 or is it 999,000?
900,000. There's a big difference. Yes, there's a big difference.
Yeah, I think it'll be up near $1 million, to be honest. But it'll be interesting when the next books come out. But yeah, I mean, there was other bits in it, but that was the kind of ones I thought I'd highlight because it's the ones that have been doing the rounds. Big Rahman for STV did ask Clement in the press today about the transfer dealings in terms of bringing £800,000 in. That ain't Clement's job to bring money in for the club in terms of negotiating, and he kind of slapped him down and went, well, that's not my job, so why ask me that bloody question? So I'm not surprised for the dafties that go in there and ask questions.
She has questions up there with the worst. Honestly, they are. I think he thinks everybody's playing Football Manager with some of the questions that he asks. Clement's got nothing to do with that. Do you know what I mean? It's not up to him to go and speak to agents and get rid of players. It's his job to say to the powers that be, the ones that are taking control of that, Niall Coppin, for example, to say to him, look, he's surplus to requirements, get rid of him, this is what I'm looking for in terms of coming in, and it's time to work together. The manager's got no input in how much we're selling players for. A ridiculous question to ask, it really is.
Yeah, I laughed in my car, come back from work when I heard him ask that question. I thought, you're a
idiot.
I know. Yeah. How guys that haven't got a job, honestly, that's what he's asking. You get one question you ask and you answer that, you ask that. So
I know.
Not shocked, to be honest. But anyway, moving on. The officials, the referee was announced for the cup final on the 15th, and it will be. I mean, there's a lot of bad referees. Nick Walsh was terrible on Wednesday night. It's not Nick Walsh. It's one better. Is John Beaton has been announced as the referee. Cheating Beaton or Brother Beaton, whatever you want to call it, in terms of the Celtic fans don't like him either. So, I don't, to be honest, Carney, the referees get announced, and it doesn't really matter to me. VAR's there, to be honest, hopefully to help out the guy in the middle of the park. I think it's what guys in the comments could correct me. I don't know if it's Alan Muir that's maybe doing the VAR, I think, for it, but Beaton will be the referee on the 15th. But for me, I don't think it makes a difference who is the referee on the 15th. It's up to Rangers to do it on the park.
They're all a bad bunch, mate. We all know the problems that lie within the refereeing in Scottish football. Don't get me wrong, there is some that are badder than others. I don't think that's really up for debate. You're right, Nick Walsh the other night, shocking. I can't stand Nick Walsh as a referee, I really can't. And again, I don't think it's anything to do with him being biased, this or that. I think he's just a shocking ref, I really do. Beaton, I think the last time Beaton had a game for us, I can't remember when it was. I think he had a good game, though. I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, don't say that, Charlie, because you jinxed
I know,
it now.
I know, I've jinxed it now. But yeah, well, you never know, mate. Maybe he's back drinking in that pub that he was pictured in. Yeah, but they're all bad. I'm glad it's no Clancy. I'm glad it's no Nick Walsh. But I mean, who would I prefer? Beating like Don Robertson. Who's the other one? That what's the other guy's name as well? He's not got a clue.
David Monroe or something. Is he one of them?
David Monroe. No, Scooby, what that guy's doing. Honestly, he's bad. But mate, they're all bad. They're all bad. But like, it's up. Look, you're right, mate. It's up to Rangers to make sure that we're not talking about the referee. It should be up to us to be talking about how good Rangers are and the fact that we've sprung a surprise and won the cup.
Yeah, and I see Blue Nose John is putting the comments. Obviously, the Pyrotechnics, Rangers, Celtic, and I think it was Motherwell were fine today about use of pyrotechnics in football. And I thought, well, strap yourselves in, because on the 15th, Carney, these guys for the UB and the Green Brigade will have them at Hampden, definitely, won't they? This will not stop them.
It won't stop them, mate. No, it won't. I think the only I don't want to be a hypocrite, right? Because sometimes with the pyrotechnics, the stuff looks great. It really does. Sometimes the stuff looks absolutely brilliant. So I don't want to say not. The other time there was fireworks going off, and I've heard through various people that was actually nothing to do with the UB that was happening. I don't agree with fireworks in stadiums. In terms of shooting off fireworks within the stadium, I think that's ridiculous. I really do think that's daft. But some of the pyrotechnic stuff looks great. Like, it really does look brilliant, and it gets you going. Do you know what I mean? It really does get you going. However, I think they will still continue to do it. The UB have made it quite clear as well that they're quite strongly against this board for the reasons that we probably all know. And yeah, it's one of their ways of saying, okay, well, we've been fined, but we'll just keep doing it then. The only way it would stop, I think, is if there's a closure of some form. I don't know if it will ever come to that. I'm not sure if it will ever come to that or really not. UEFA like to... What's the word I'm trying to use about UEFA? UEFA like to fine people whenever they can because it's a way of them making income. It's as simple as that. It's what they do. It's UEFA just make things up sometimes. However, this one, I get it. I really do. Some people it's not good for. It's a hard one to know where to sit on it, mate, because I say sometimes when you see it, it looks amazing. Really does look brilliant. But again, it's costing the club money. And then how much over a season is that costing and whatever? Oh, I don't know. I don't know where you can sit down, have a discussion with them and try and get it to stop. But I wouldn't. If you've got something, that doesn't, something, a condition or whatever it may that might be, that smoke affects you and stuff like that, I would be wearing a mask if you're going to Hampden, because there's going to be pyrotechnics at it. No, like, there's just no doubt that there will be, unfortunately, for that. But yeah, look, mate, it'll just keep going. It'll just keep happening. I don't think it's going to stop. It is what it is, really.
Yeah, I don't think it'll stop unless, as you say, it went to very severe punishments like point deductions or
stadium closures and stuff like that.
Closures and all that. So, which I don't think it would in Scotland. So, we'll just need to wait and see what happens. But before we wrap it up, we've got a game this Sunday. We are away to Ross County up in Dingwall. One of the titles that comes into my work, Carney, he's actually, his dad follows Man City. He's away down on the Saturday to watch Man City against Palace, I think it is. And then he's got Dingwall on the Sunday. That's some journey. He goes to Rangers, all the way Rangers games, all the European games as well. So mental.
A Logan Air flight from Manchester up to Aberdeen.
I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it anyway. So hats off to him.
Aye, hats off to him, man.
But Ross County are sitting 8th in the Premiership at the moment. They got a doing off Celtic last weekend. They were 5-0 down at half time, Ross County. I did fear for them when I seen that. I thought they might get a serious doing. Obviously, Celtic took it lightly on them in the second half. We have beaten them 6-0 at Hampden, as we mentioned earlier on this year. They're not that great a team, Ross County, to be honest. Rangers should be going up to Dingwall and taking care of them comfortably. I'm hoping and expecting a good performance for Rangers. I'm hoping for goals, which we don't score away from home, but I'm hoping to see a much better performance against Ross County. What's your thoughts on Sunday, Carney?
I think it's imperative that we continue to see the signs of improvement that have been set now. I think there was maybe not two camps fully. I don't think a lot of people were particularly pleased with what we've seen against St Johnstone. I certainly wasn't. I didn't think it was much better. I don't think you can ever really be happy when an own goal's the only difference between the two teams. So I was not overly chuffed with what I seen. However, St Johnstone didn't do very much, and again, Kilmarnock didn't do very much, but we really hit a stride on Wednesday. I'm not expecting Rangers to go up there and win 6-0. I'm really not. However, it would be nice for us to go up there and put in a solid away performance, a convincing away performance. Something like a 2-3-0 solid win, some decent football getting played where we can, depending on what state their pitch is in. I don't actually know what state their pitch is in just now. It's probably all right because it's not Dundee, is it? Just hopefully a continuation on something that we've seen, mate, and just to win in a much more convincing manner. We shouldn't really be looking at Ross County as going, oh, that's a bit of a sticky game. And I won't lie, after Wednesday, I'm feeling a bit better about things, as you would after a 6-0 win. So I would expect the team to be pretty much unchanged. If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think I would be making any serious changes to the one that started the game, and I'd be letting them trying to continue on from where they left off. I really would. So look, Ross County will try and frustrate us. I don't think Ross County will try anything wild in terms of having a go at Rangers. I think they'll try and contain Rangers for as long as they can. The same old story that we usually see when we go against the teams kind of further down the league. So yeah, all I hope and all I really expect from Rangers is a solid win, a convincing win, and just to still see some green shoots of improvement peeking off, mate. Wee moments that you're seeing again, that the attacking link-up plays happening, that the passages of play are happening, that we're looking threatening instead of this passive, lethargic, non-inspiring football. Because the difference that you feel after Wednesday, and the players must have gained confidence from that. They must have the wind in their sails now, going, "Whoa, lads, that was brilliant," and it looked better. It must have felt better to them. Everything about it. So they really have to look at whatever way they can. I mentioned it earlier. Kilmarnock has to harness that as much as he can and apply it to every game now going forward, and hopefully he picks up some really decent results.
Yeah, David Bradford thinks he's listening to GBX here looking for shout-outs.
Oh, David, what's this? I'd be bold enough to ask for a special mention from my good friend Thomas Orr, who is a long-term listener, as I can guarantee he's been too quiet to ever even comment, but never misses a pod. Hello, Thomas Orr. Thank you very much for your support, mate. There you go, David. That's a pint you owe me.
There you go. What song do you want on as well, David? Keep it clean.
Concrete Angel. Concrete Angel. Dardo.
Oh, no. But aye, Kilmarnock, the presser, said there was no fresh injuries from Wednesday. Big Balogun took a few sore ones. Obviously, Raskin get banjoed in the head as well. He did say that Rabbi Matondo and Cortez are close to coming back. One of them may be in the bench on Sunday potentially. Obviously, they've been out for a long time, but they are coming back now. So I'm interested to hear what your team is, Carrie. I'd be very shocked if we're not very similar, to be honest. But what is your team and score for Sunday?
So the same back five I would go with that started on Wednesday. Sorry, again, lost my train of thought. I don't know. Did he mention Sterling? Sorry, did you just say that? I was reading comments. Did he mention Sterling? No.
I don't think he did say Sterling. No, he didn't mention him.
No, so it'll be interesting to see, because that's obviously, he said that it's very short term. So it'll be interesting to see if he is back fit, whether he chooses to rest, having your inverted comments. So I'll stick with the same back five. I'll go Raskin again on his own. This is a bit that I'm a bit confused with. Do we try and push Barron further forward? Do we try and stop him playing the 6 and move him a little bit further forward? Because we're away, he might resort back to that. In terms of playing him over Diomande, I think we need another option in terms of it being Diomande. And I don't want to again be too overcritical, because in Europe he was great, but domestically he is kind of struggling for me a little bit. I'm not seeing enough from him. Sorry if I'm being harsh, it's just my honest opinion. So I'll go Barron there. I'll go Hadji in the 10, and I'll go the same front three. I'll go Igaman, Danilo and Tierney, and I'll go for a lovely, pleasant early kick-off on a Sunday, 3-0 win for Rangers, and I'll go Igaman to score first.
I'll take that. Yeah, my team's similar. Butland, like I say, I've not heard about Sterling, so I actually thought Tav played very well on Wednesday night, and I'll probably get bashed in the comments for saying that there, but I thought he played very well. Tav got a goal, got an assist as well. I think Tav will play. If Sterling's not available, Tav will play.
Yep.
Suter. Balogun, for me, has to play in the cup final. And it's about managing Balogun with the next couple of games coming up. So I would play Balogun on Sunday and bring Proper in against Tottenham. Because Proper's better in I know it's Tottenham are playing, but he's better in European competitions. Tottenham's a bit of a free hit for me as well, so I would do that and give Balogun the weeks, play him Sunday and then give him the full week to prepare for the following Sunday in the cup final. So he keeps his place, Balogun. Yilmaz come back in the park, but for me, Jeffrey keeps his shirt. I agree, middle of the park. Raskin, I'd probably bring Barron back in because I could see Diamandi playing against Spurs. Hadji stays for me in the 10, and it's the same front three. I think they deserve to play for what they put in against Kilmarnock. I think they deserve that front four that we've talked about, deserve to play.
And we've mentioned before between us, mate, the only way Egerman's going to improve is if he plays football. So you have to continue to play him.
Play the guy. He'll have games where you go, Christ, he was bloody awful today, but you need to play the guy. So I'd continue to play him. Barami's, I'd like to think if the game's going well, maybe the second half we can possibly bring a Hadji off and play Barami and give him a 45 minutes in the 10 as well if it's going well. But I was the same as you, Carly. I had 3-0 written down today as well. Up in Dingwall, I hope it's 3-0. I'm going for Czerny for goal scorer. He seems to be a guy that scores a lot for Rangers, so I will go with Czerny. So, yes, it is. It's over to Rangers to hopefully continue and put in a performance and hopefully score more than one goal away from home. So, yeah. But we have reached the hour of the podcast. I'd like to thank everyone in the comments tonight who's contributed tonight. And last but not least, my one and only guest, Mr. Scott Carney. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. I feel sorry for me, everybody. I'm away to build flat pack furniture. I cannot wait. You can see the buzz is dripping out of me right now. I have to go and do that. So, yes. But no, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And yeah, look, we just have to hope now that we are starting to see Rangers turn the corner. We've said it for a while that it's not easy to constantly be negative about your team, and we're all really eager to be as positive as we can about Rangers, to back the team, to back the players, and for them to be showing us that there is improvement and it is going to happen. So yeah, I just hope for a continuation from what we've seen from Wednesday night. We play some decent football, we score some decent goals, and it's a much more positive feel all round. After the start of the season that we've had. But yeah, no, pleasure as always, mate. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, I don't envy you with flat pack furniture.
Dreading it, mate, honestly.
I'm actually we're having to wash the dog, actually, Carney, so I don't enjoy doing that either. So
Does Cooper like in a bath?
He doesn't mean the bath, but when you need to get the hairdryer on him afterwards to dry him off, he's not too fussed with that. But he was at his, I know this isn't a dog podcast, but he was at his dog daycare on Thursday and he was absolutely minging coming back for that.
Was he? Oh.
Aye, and he's away at my mum's tomorrow. She's looking after him while we're away, so.
Well, I've got to bath a tiny human every night, mate, so, I mean, you bath a dog like once a month or something like that, so, you know.
Yeah, but yes, thanks to everyone in the comments. We will be back, not myself, but we will be back as a podcast with a reaction, hopefully to a good performance for Rangers and a win against Ross County. We have been.
Ali's missing the game, everybody. Ali's away to a Christmas market or something like that.
I'm borrowing Mr. Haymarch's private jet.
He's not bothered, yeah.
Borrowing Haymarch's private jet, and I'm away to Budapest. It's actually my girlfriend's Christmas present. Present. Yeah. So yes, I will be there. I'll be back for the Spurs game. Don't worry. But yes,
and I'm not going to the Spurs game because I'm away for work. I know.
Yes, but yes, we'll be back with a match reaction on Sunday. We have been Club at 22 at the Rangers podcast. Good night.